this is where we're going to do some court research and talk to you about local forms, your local bankruptcy court forms. Bankruptcy forms are considered federal forms, and that 99% of the forms issued will be the same no matter which state you file it in, with the exception of what's considered or called local forms. These are issued by a local judge or a clerk of the court when they want to add or amend a form that is better suited for their court or district. For example, there's no federal form for declaration of evidence of pay stubs, which is some courts ask for, some don't. Those that do create their own particular form. Another example is the verification of creditor matrix, as well as what format the mailing matrix should be created. Most of them are justified left. Some are centered, but most, again, are justified left. All right, inside each state folder, you will find local forms for your state. Click on the folder to open it and view the contents. You should also verify that the form we offer is up to date. We've done our best, but sometimes the court will issue a local form without notice to everybody. So you'll have to double check with your court to make sure that you're using the correct form. And when you go to file your petition, if your form is out of date, they'll be happy to supply you and you can fill it out right on the spot. So it's no big deal if you don't have the court form. And they don't change their forms but every couple of years. So chances are of getting an outdated form is slim and none. Note that in our files, we've taken them exactly from the court because they refer to them in their local rules by this particular number. They don't name them, such as evidence of pay stubs or creditor matrix, or some do, some don't. But so you're going to have to open each form, and so you can identify which form it is. And then you want to contact your local court and ask them what local forms they require in addition to the regular petition. So to verify, you can either go to this web address and then click on your state, then click on details. Make sure that you're in the bankruptcy court, not the federal court. Much easier, you can go to the guide located in this module called Bankruptcy Website Links, a PDF, and list all 90 plus bankruptcy courts with their web address. In order to assist you properly in filing an accurate petition that gets you all the way to discharge, we've searched all 90 bankruptcy courts, their websites for up-to-date cases, motions, and Chapter 13 plans, and offer samples of cases prepared by an attorney for your review and using as samples. We can't tell you how to fill out the forms, but if you use a form filled out by an attorney, you can't go wrong. If you have a situation that you need to research your court case because you don't have an adequate answer, you may be able to find an attorney form, completed form that will match your situation exactly. For example, what exemption to use for an item on Schedule C, or how do you properly list an item of personal property on Schedule B. Using these samples that we provided will help you get through the toughest part, which is generally Schedules B and C. If you find yourself in this situation, you can create an account with your local bankruptcy court. It's called a PACER account, but you'll need a credit card. So if you don't have one, you may want to ask a friend or a family member. So let's get to it, how to do court research. So in order to access public records, you'll need to create an account, as I mentioned, and you also mentioned that you'll need a credit card. They charge 10 cents a page for every page that you download, so it's very, very cheap. To do so, you'll go to pacer.gov, click on Register. There are 3 types of registration options. You'll choose case search only registration. You'll then be taken to a registration page where you'll enter your information to a secured site. That's it. Once you have your username and passcode, you're ready to start searching cases. Then you want to go to your local court website. In this example that I'm going to show you in a few minutes, we're going to use the Arizona bankruptcy court, which is where we're located. You'll enter your username and password and then click Click the box, I understand that if I file, I must comply with the redaction rules. I've read this notice. Click Login. Once you're inside the site, you'll go to the top of the screen and click on Reports. It's outlined in blue in most courts. Then click on Cases. We'll do that in a second. In the Cases Report section, you want to select a city in the Office section. In this example, we picked Phoenix. And then you want to check Bankruptcy, BK, and then the Chapter 7, unless you're searching for 13s. You can do 11s or 12s or any bankruptcy case in here if you want to do research. Step 6, you're going to want to scroll down to the date type and leave the filed date field as is. That's the way you will see it in most cases. Then you want to go back about 6 to 8 months. Notice that the court automatically presets these from and to dates within about 90 days. Most cases you need to go back 6 months so that you will find a case that has either been discharged or that a case has the Chapter 13 plan has been approved. If you're looking for adequately and accurately filed cases, a case being discharged or a plan being approved tells you that the trustee has approved the paperwork. There has probably been not any amendments to the case to correct something. You can view that as well on the docket, and we'll show you that in a second. Now note too that you will only be allowed to search within a 30-day radius. So you'll want to go back in a 30-day range that's more than 6 months from the date you are searching it, your current date. Check the box that says Open Cases, and then click Run Report. You will now be in the Case Report section where you will see pages of previously filed cases, numerous cases, depending on your court. You want to scroll down to view the cases that have been discharged, as shown in the example below. To view the case details, you want to click on the case number in the blue section on the left side of the page. You will then be taken to the query section as shown in the next slide. In this example, you will click on the case number that has been discharged, not dismissed case. Those are usually cases that you don't want to use as examples because they're probably not done correctly. So look for standard discharge cases as shown in the example on this slide. While in the query section, notice at the top of the page it shows the debtor's name, the date filed, the type, and the judge's name, and the date of discharge, as shown in this example below. Notice that the date filed and the date of the last filing are important. And those are the dates that you want to input into the next section below in step 10. So in this example, you want to click on Docket Report, which will take you to the docket sheet section. In the filed section of the form, like I said, it's automatically set back about 90 days. In this case, we're using this as example. We're not going to, if we leave it as is between May 3rd and August 1st, we're not going to see much because there was nothing, everything was filed before May the 2nd. So you're going to have to come back in and redo your file dates. So in this example, we're going to set it back to January 3rd through August 1st. That's the date that we're doing this video. And you want to do it within this time you don't have to have a 30-day period. So set the dates accordingly and then click Run Report. Now you're now in what's called the docket section, where it shows all the activity on a particular case that's either been filed by the trustee, court orders, anyone having a claim or interest in the case. The first item, 99% of the time, is the voluntary petition, which is what you're getting ready to file, which includes all of your forms, your credit counseling, your schedules, your statement of financial affairs, statement of intent, your mailing matrix. Everything is included in the voluntary petition, and it's generally 45 to 50 some pages. So if you're trying to find a schedule, Schedule C, for example, you're going to have to download the voluntary petition to see it, as it's not filed separately in most cases unless you see an amended Schedule C. Then you could use that to view as well. So we suggest you take your time to view this section to see how a case progresses, to get an idea what happens in the case and what will happen in your case. In this example we're going to show you an amended schedule, we're going to show you an amended or a reaffirmation agreement, and where a creditor filed a notice, request for notice, meaning they want to be notified when any documents are mailed. In this example we're going to want to view certain sections, so again, like I said, you're going to have to download the entire petition. So to do so, you would click the number 1 next to voluntary petition in the docket text section. As you scroll down the docket, you can click on any number opposite the form you wish to view, and they're done in numerical order as they are filed. In the next section, you are informed as to the charges you will incur. As I mentioned before, you're only going to be billed for 30 pages. In this example, this document's 58 pages, and they're going to charge us for 30 pages or $3. So it's cheap verification of what you're doing and how to do something when you're looking at another person's petition. And this is nothing illegal about this. This is all public record. To view the document, accept the charges, you'll click View Document Image on this page. Follow the prompts by clicking OK and leave the box that's currently checked. Open with Choose. Don't need to choose anything. And do not check the box Save File, as you will get a form that's scrambled and gibberish. And you'll have to do this whole process over again and pay again. Next, after you click OK in step 14, you go to step 15, asking if you want to download something from the internet. Click Open. The bankruptcy court is safe. You're not going to have any viruses involved. The next prompt, you're going to want to, you don't want to save it as a show_temp.pl. I don't know what the PL means in the type of a document, but it's gibberish. It's all scrambled once it hits your desktop. So you want to rename the file. And in this example, I'm downloading a notice of discharge, and I'll download it to my desktop. Then I click Save. So when I go to my form, I can find it under as named as Notice Discharge, and open it up, and it will be a PDF document. It won't be a PL document, and it will be readable. Step 17, if you need to view 13 cases, you want to go back to Step 5, as I've shown you here in this example, and change the number in the chapter section from 7 to 13, and then repeat steps 6 through 17 as we've just done. So that's it. You're an expert court researcher, or you soon will be. Note that you can use this process to view your own case once it's filed, and download any files you may have lost or that were damaged from the date you filed it. This may become important to you at some point where you receive your notice of discharge, which is the holy grail of the bankruptcy, but you've lost it or it got destroyed. You can always go back into the court and download the notice of discharge, and probably cost you 20 cents. Otherwise, if you go through other services, it could cost you as much as $20 to $30 to get one. So it's time to wrap this up and file it and get your own case on the docket. But before we do, I want to show you a brief tutorial that what we've just described here, a visual of how this will proceed. Once we're finished with this tutorial, go to Module 7 and follow instructions. Okay, we're now at the local bankruptcy court in our Arizona district. We're going to file electronically, which will take us to, that's what you want to look for, file electronically using the ECF. In this example, you're going to be taken to a page that's very similar to this. They're all the same no matter what state you're living in. You'll enter your login, your password, click the box, I understand that if I file, I've read the notice, and you click Login. Under reports, remember we said pull down the cases box. In this case, I'm going to look under Phoenix. I'm going to check bankruptcies. I'm looking for Chapter 7s. I don't care about which trustee. That's not important. I don't need the attorney's name. Under date filed, we're going to leave file date as is. Remember, this is always preset by the court to the current date. So I want to go back 6 to 8 months. So I'm going to go back to February to March. Remember, they only let you check for a 30-day period. This is automatically checked, the open boxes. I'm going to click on Run Report. Okay, now I've got all my cases that were filed within this period, back around February to March of 2012, and I see different cases here: standard discharge, standard discharge. This one has not been discharged. Assets, yes. Standard discharge with assets. So let's look at that one. We click on the case number to view anything. Notice here we have this was filed on February the 2nd. The last filing was 5/16 on this case. The debtor was discharged on May the 15th. So to get to view this particular case, we're going to go to the docket report. Leave everything as is here. Now, if you see what I did here is I made a mistake. I did that on purpose because I'm only going to see what was filed from May 4th to August 4th, so I need to change that. So remember, this was filed in February and it was closed in May. So I'm just going to change those particular dates and run the report. I'm still short. I'm not seeing number 1, which is what you always want to look for. So in this particular case, this was filed on 2/2. So I'm going to go back and change this date to 2/1 and 5/1 because it's okay. As I mentioned, here's the voluntary petition that was filed, and if I want to see it, I would click on this button, or any item that I want to view. Motion for stay. Sometimes these are good to watch in case you are being sued, because the attorney will file an answer and you can download a answer to see what they did, to see if you want to hire an attorney or do it yourself. In this example, it was on behalf of Green Tree Servicing, Bank of America. More than likely, this is they're trying to get around the automatic stay to continue the foreclosure on a piece of real estate. That's generally what a bank like Bank of America does with houses. Continuing on, order granting motion. So the court got their motion. They got the permission to continue the foreclosure. And in this particular case, it was discharged on May 15th. So if I wanted to see that, I would have to go back to here and put May 16th to be sure that I've got the entire file. And notice of discharge. So I know this is a good case because the trustees approved the paperwork and issued a discharge. It looks like the bank got permission to foreclose and take this person's house. So let's just pick on. I'm not going to go spend $3 to get this particular file. So I'm going to look at the notice of discharge, and once you see that, now I'm just going to pick. In your case, you would want to get all 3 of these. I'm just going to go ahead with the 1-page document just to minimize my cost here. So it tells me here, as soon as I click on that particular document, that I'm going to be charged 10 cents. And if I want to view it, I need to click here or click the back buzzer to get out of it. Click the view document. It's going to open here. Don't use save file. Click open with, leave choose alone. If you do a save file check, it will end up being gibberish once it hits your desktop. I don't know why it does that, but it's a PL type of a document. I have no idea what that is, but it's gibberish. So leave it open with, and then just click OK. You'll be asked next if you want opening something from the internet. Click Open, and then you will see your document, the notice of recipients. Now, next thing I want to do before I close is I want to go to Save As and click Save as a PDF, and I will name the documents. I'm just going to put Notice Discharge, and I'll save it to my desktop, which will be a PDF file. And I go to my desktop, I can find it right away. I can open the document, and there you see it's named Notice of Discharge .pdf. I can save it and put it in my files. Alright, that's it for this tutorial. You can always rewatch this, but I think it's very advantageous to have an account at your local court for just such this purpose, to research cases, to get you answers, to make you more familiar, give you a better feeling about your case. Alright, that's it. Once you've finished doing your court research and got your account and finished your local forms, please proceed to Module 7. Good job.